I think there have been three particular events at sea that are worthy of note in the recent crisis over Ukraine. The first was the reports on the very first weekend that the crisis unfolded of Russian amphibious ships deploying offshore. Now, of course, in the context of putting personnel ashore at the right place at the right time, they would give Russia the need to use extra forces ashore if the opportunity and the requirements so arose. So amphibious forces offer you flexibility in that capacity. The second thing of note was the return of the Ukrainian Krivak frigate Hetman Sagdachny to Odessa. The frigate had been deployed away on counter-piracy operations and returned home to the Ukraine, flying the Ukrainian flag, making a very clear statement about its allegiance at times when there had been some doubts as to where its loyalties lay. But there was a very clear statement in that instance. But the third, perhaps most critical thing has been the Russian blockading of the port in Sevastopol, where a number of tactics, including deploying minesweepers across certain access points, scuttling an old corvette, an old cruiser, beg your pardon, and even the reported use of divers in and around a couple of Ukrainian vessels that are stuck, has shown that Russia was very clear and very keen to ensure that no Ukrainian naval assets put to sea. I think when you look at the Crimea crisis, it's been more about the seizure of land and Russia ensuring that it retained a foothold on the shores of the Black Sea. Most of the debate has been focused upon events ashore in the Crimean region, for example, Russian troop build-ups around bases and at certain access points. But what Russia has been very keen to do in securing access to the Crimea and securing therefore the ability to use the base at Sevastopol was to underline the fact that it has a primary interest in being able to project power into the Black Sea and beyond. Russia has seen in recent years its navy as a very, very important way of projecting power around the world. It has been present regularly in the Mediterranean and in the Indian Ocean, in the former case during the Syria crisis, and in the latter case to help in the international counter-piracy campaign. But rather than steaming vessels from the Baltic or Northern fleets all the way around Northern Europe, it makes more sense strategically for Russia to support those operations with a very active and capable Black Sea fleet. So that's one reason as to why access from the Black Sea remains very, very critical, and access to the Black Sea itself, therefore. Now, Russia has not had in these operations that many vessels deployed, but there have generally been the same vessels, for example, the Moskva, the Slav-Cross cruiser, the Moskva, and one or two others that have been, which suggests that they only have one or two assets available in the Black Sea fleet that are able to go to sea for any length of time. However, those vessels all the same have played a critical role in supporting Russian presence in the Mediterranean and in the Indian Ocean and elsewhere, and their access to those places from the Black Sea has been critical to the Russian interests.